Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have something a bit different from what I usually post. Today I'm going to walk you through my downsizing process. The reason I'm deciding to film this video is because I feel like in a lot of my storing photo cards videos I have dropped collections without really saying why. And today I'm going to get into why I choose to downsize a collection, that process, and I just want to always emphasize that it is okay to drop any collection at any time for any reason. So without further ado, here I have my solo binder, which will probably go through the most change. So here we go. Worth noting right off the bat, I'm not going to downsize Yeosang at all. I plan on keeping Yeosang the exact same. I have no plans to ever really downsize him or change the way I collect him, so we'll skip past Yeosang. And here is the first change to my collection. I'm actually going to drop Beomgyu from TXT. And the reason behind it is I just find collecting his cards to be a little bit more on the difficult side, especially if you're someone like me who tends to buy more than I trade. I don't really agree with the prices that I see most often on like Instagram for TXT cards. I don't think they should be as expensive as they are. I absolutely love and adore TXT. Like if there's a group besides ATs that's like next to alt status, it's TXT. I have loved them ever since debut. They have been in my hearts forever, and I just decided to drop my photo card collection of Beomgyu. Yeah. I initially actually did collect Subin, and I found Subin hard, so I thought it'd be easier to go to Beomgyu, but I haven't been having much success with Beomgyu anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and take Beomgyu out of this binder, and all of these photo cards will be up for trade or sale later. But yeah, goodbye to my Beomgyu collection. I do actually plan on just being like a TXT album collector. I don't really care about the inclusions now. I do have some of like the bigger inclusions in other albums that I have, but no more photo cards in my collection. So goodbye Beomgyu. And actually the next collection that will also be dropped, downsized, is Seungkwan. This was a really difficult decision for me to make because I absolutely adore Seungkwan, and I like the slow progress that I've been making with his collection. However, I just no longer have the energy to look for his cards, especially some of these somewhat older cards. Like I just haven't been looking, and I don't plan on looking for them. Even getting this Face the Sun Carrot version was such an impulse buy. Wasn't anything that I needed. It didn't help my collection at all. So I think it'll be just in my best interest to drop Seungkwan for now. And with any collection, you know, you can always pick it back up later if you really feel the desire to. And with a group like 17 or TXT like I just showed, the chances of like getting those cards back is like really high. So you can always pick up a collection, even if they're like not a popular group or anything, you can always pick up a collection if you decide to drop it. So yeah, I'm going to say goodbye to my Seungkwan collection. Even though it was really fun, I had a good time. The prices for him aren't crazy. I mean, if you're looking for older cards, they might get crazy, but Seungkwan is pretty fun to collect. I do recommend if you're trying it, but for me, I'm actually going to drop Seungkwan and take him out of this binder. So here's all the Seungkwan photo cards and inclusions. So this binder actually just leaves Yeosang, and he takes up very little space in this binder. So I have to figure out what I want to do with the rest of this space, but let's get into the other collections first before I even think about how I want to rearrange this binder. Alright, so the next binder that we'll see a little bit of downsizing is my multi-binder, which essentially is just CIX and the last. For CIX specifically, I've decided to downsize to just collecting my bias Hyunsuk. So I'm no longer going to be collecting Yoongi or Jinyoung. And the reasoning for this is purely because I just have lost kind of a little bit of interest in collecting CIX. I'm still a really big fan of them. I just no longer have that like urge to collect like I was before. And I honestly, this is an easy decision for me because I don't have that many cards that aren't Hyunsuk. So it wasn't a difficult decision for me to no longer collect the other members. And I think it will make a nice, whenever I decide to lay out Hyunsuk, which will probably be in a sequential video, I don't think it'll be that hard to lay him out. And the only thing I'll be keeping from the other members are whichever belongs to Jinyoung and Yoongi. So Yoongi's here and Jinyoung's here. I'm just gonna keep these scratch cards in here because they fill up the page nicely, and I don't really care enough to try and trade them for Hyunsuk. And then Elast will stay the same. So now that I only collect one member of CIX, I might put Hyunsuk in the same binder as Yeosang, but that'll be in a different video. Let's head into the next collection. So the next collection I will discuss is my on and off collection, which will largely remain the same, only a couple sets will change. So I do plan on keeping the on off the same, just because with the way I plan on collecting it, if I didn't do it this way, it'd kind of look funny when I plan to rearrange everything. So on off will remain the same. However, You Complete Me will be downsized. I'm only going to collect my top 3 biases for You Complete Me and the other sets that I plan to downsize. So my top 3 members are JS, U, and MK. So I only plan on keeping those 3 members. So this long card and this long card will be taken out, and this page will be removed, and that'll greatly decrease the amount of space for You Complete Me. And You Complete Me, I would collect every single member. However, this is their most rare album. The prices for this album are a little bit more steeper than other albums, so I have no problem with just decreasing to my top 3. We Must Love, never collected it completely anyways. Go Live, another collection that I will only collect my top 3 members, so JS, MK, and U. But since I don't have any of the other members' cards, I will not take them out of here. But when I do my video on reorganizing my collections, I will make sure that this is all in order. The same will go for spin-off. I will collect the JS, MK, and U, which will still make a nice spread, but also it's not a difficult decision because I don't have any of the other cards except for this white, which I just took out. This is still spin-off. For my name, I do plan on collecting OT6, so nothing will change with my name. And nothing will change with City of On and Off. I plan to collect every member, all their photo cards, because it is the collection I have most complete. It makes a nice spread, and these cards are pretty easy to find. And it's fun collecting City of On and Off. As well as popping. Popping will remain the same. Each member will get their own 9-pocket spread. So OT6 for popping. And this, I would say My Name, starting with My Name is where the nostalgia hits for me, because My Name was my first on and off era. So it definitely means a lot to me, and having all those 4 comebacks in 1 year, I really wanted to keep the memories in my binder, how much they meant to me in the span of 1 year. I only got into On and Off during My Name, like I just said, so it was a very impactful year for me, so I want to keep some memory of it. However, Goosebumps is where it kind of goes crazy in terms of what inclusions were offered. Thank you, WM. But I will be actually downsizing Goosebumps to just JS, MK, and U. So we can go ahead and take out all the members that are not those 3. However, I will be collecting OT6 for the secret selfies and the secret concepts. So nothing will change on these 2 pages. It's my way of, preserving that year of On and Off that I had without overextending myself on my collection, because Goosebumps can be pretty difficult if you're avidly trying to collect OT6 like I was. And so long as I calculated everything correctly, I'll still be able to make some 9-pocket spreads out of the remaining members that I do collect. So that makes me happy. And then I'll just keep the miscellaneous cards that I have. So the next part of this binder will be reorganizing it, which will be in a later video. But next, let's get into the last collection that I plan on downsizing. Okay, last but not least, here we have my golden child binder. It'll kind of be downsized in the same fashion that I did for on and off, where some collections will be OT10 for all members and some will be just my top 3. So for Golcha, it will be OT10 for the baseball cards, and for the clear cards, I love this era so much, and I've had, you know, relatively good success if you count my Juchen cards as well. The way that I lay this out will be a little bit different when I actually do reorganize, because I want to reintroduce Juchen to this binder. So you'll see when that happens. It won't be the nice 9 pocket spreads that I have, but it'll actually change. But yeah, so with Miracle here, we are actually going to just collect my top 3 members. My top 3 members are Juchen, Jangjun, and Jibum, Triple J. So those 3 members will be the ones that I collect for the albums I decide to not collect OT10 for. So Miracle, sadly I have to take out Goldenness. Goldenness is one of their out of print albums, so it's a little bit, I guess, more difficult to collect. It's not terribly hard, I just don't really want to I don't want to have to be so pick and choosy about what cards I get and what cards I don't. In terms of like pricing for Goldenness, because the prices can vary and I don't really want to like hunt down these cards anymore. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take out the cards that are not my top 3 members in the collections that I'm not collecting OT10 for. Another OT10 collection will be Take a Leap. I really enjoy Take a Leap. It's a really fun album to collect, and it's really not that difficult. And there aren't a bajillion cards per member, so Take a Leap will not change, as well as Pump It Up will not change. So I will collect OT10 for Take a Leap and Pump It Up. And then for Yes, it'll just be my top 3. For Game Changer, I will be keeping these OT10 sets in my binder, the cards and the stickers from the limited version. However, I'm going to only collect my top 3 for the remaining cards because there are too many and it's a lot. Let's just say it's a lot. It's 100 cards. No one needs 100 cards for one era, so. Okay, and for Dada, I did go back and forth on what I wanted to collect for Dada. I honestly might go OT10 on this because it's the last era with Dale before his enlistment. I love Dada so much. I was planning on going into this only collecting my top 3 members, but I think actually I will go OT10 on this one. I actually really enjoy collecting Dada. But maybe also I don't want to. I need to decide in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I decided to collect my top 3 instead. That was a really quick decision. But like I said before, I can always pick it up again if I want to. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take out, honestly I might collect my top 4 because I really like Tag's cards this era. So I might actually make it top 4. And then I don't really know what to do with the film strips right now, so I'm just going to leave them as is, and I'll deal with that later, and these cards will all remain the same. So yeah, that is how I downsized Golden Child. I feel a lot better now, now that, whoa. Now that all of these cards are gone from the On and Off and Golden Child collections, like, it's just like a big relief off my shoulders. I don't have to worry about never having a complete collection. I feel like that's a lot more attainable now that I've downsized. So So I guess the next part in this little series will be me reorganizing some of these binders, especially the Golden Child binder and the On-Off binder. So I will see you in the next part or the next video. Hey everyone, just wanted to do a little voiceover while I rearrange these photo cards. Essentially what I did for the non-OT6 albums are a combination of either 222 layouts, like for Go Live, or they were just full 9-pocket pages for You Complete Me, Spin-Off, and Goosebumps. So that's essentially how I rearranged these albums. Pause if you want to see how specific they look. And then for Golden Child, essentially the OT10 sets were split into a 7-pocket spread and a 6-pocket spread. The 6-pocket spreads were either the top corner and the bottom corner, or they were a 222 method, just depending on the album and how many album cards there were per member. So older albums had the corners because there are typically 2 photo cards per member, whereas other albums like Take a Leap and Pump It Up had the 222 because there are typically 2 photo cards per version. For Game Changer, I was able to do 3 pages of 9-pocket spreads, and the last page will be the final 3 cards per member plus 2 sets of pre-order benefits. So that's what will fill in that space. And then Dada, kind of the same situation. That got a couple full 9-pocket spreads in there, but the last page will be for text, so he'll have 5 photo cards on his page. And last but not least, we had the Japanese cards, which I only collect Juchan for, but I also had a surprise Jangjun, so I put those in a 3-pocket page. Again, please pause if you want to see the specifics on how I rearranged my binder. And for Hyunsuk, the first 2 albums are in a 222 method because there are 6 photo cards for those 2 albums. Chapter 3 and 4 share 1 page with alternating photo cards to make a cool diamond and square shape, and then Prologue Be Okay was put in a 222 method.